Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Morgan, and this is another journaling video, memory journaling this time, in my A5 Hobonichi notebook. And I'm trying to get the month of January caught up. So I just sat down and filmed the whole thing, but it's way too long for one video. So I'm going to upload it as two videos, so it'll just go back to back. There'll be one, and then I'll go ahead and just upload them back to back. So anywho, there will be two parts to this, I guess is my point. All right. I had several pictures that I wanted to get put into my journal. And the first one here is we went prom dress shopping, and they didn't have my daughter's size, so we had to order it. But the dress that's hanging, that was the sample one that we looked at. And so I grabbed a picture of it just because I knew I would want to put it in my journal. And here I'm just kind of sorting through my washi bin that I have and the different samples. I've been really wanting to get these used up because they tend to not get used. And it's kind of like I've challenged myself to use as many as I can this year. So I'm sorting through these just to kind of try to find some that halfway match. So I just decided to go ahead and keep this in so you could kind of see my process of how I make a pile, and then I'll sort through it again and decide what I want to use. So it kind of, it helps me to be able to make a pile and then just decide from there, because I'm too indecisive. I have to have lots of choices. Then I just kind of go from there. So anyway, that is what I'm doing now. And then we went to eat at Popeyes, which my husband and I had been there before, but our kids hadn't. And so I kept the front part of one of their bags that the sandwiches come in, and I wanted to use that in the spread. So I decided to make it a 2-page spread, and then we went to Starbucks and got some drinks from there. So I have that picture as well. And I do have the two pictures of the dresses here, because I just couldn't decide which one I wanted to use. So I will sort that out here in a minute. But in the meantime, I wanted to put down some watercolor on the pages, and I'm so bad at matching colors with watercolor. So what I did in the back of my notebook was just started out with the light purple, that purple color there. Well, it's not light, but you know what I mean. So I did the purple and realized that was not going to work. Totally not the right color. I mean, it wouldn't have looked horrible, but it wasn't the color that I was wanting. So I dried it real quick and then moved on, and I put some blue down at the bottom just very lightly, and decided that that's what I wanted to go with. It's a really hard color to match because it's almost like a periwinkle color, and it changes. It's got like that, it's almost like it's just a light blue, but it has a little bit of green in it, purple. Anywho, I knew I wasn't going to be able to match it exactly, so I just went with a light blue, and I think it looked really great. So anyway, that's what we're going to go with. And I apologize if you can hear my dryer in the background with the jeans hitting. Apologize for that. Got to get the laundry done. Okay, so then I put a little bit of blue down and then added water, just very lightly. I figured I can always add more color if I want, but I couldn't take it off the page. So, and then I added a little bit of purple and mix the blue. You can kind of see there's a pink thing on the other side of this page, so you can kind of see that pink and white popping through there. If you are wondering what that weird color is to the paper, that's what it is. But I decided to go ahead and try to mix the color because I figured that would be easier than trying to do it every single time. So I just added a little bit of purple, blue, kind of mixed it until I got more of what I was going for, and then just added that to the page. And then I only put color on this side and not the right hand side because I'm going to put that Popeyes bag down, and it covers pretty much the whole page. So. And then I just used my heat tool to dry it. And I linked that one in some past videos. It's in my Amazon favorites list, which I'll have linked below for you if you want to check it out. It was like $20 and it works so well. I love it. Probably one of the best things I've bought off Amazon in a long time. But, well, okay. I like a lot of the stuff I get from Amazon, but anywho, this was a good purchase. So I will have that linked below for you. Anywho, I think I've had too much coffee today because I feel very like revved up. So I'm sorry if I'm rambling. Just bear with me. Oh, so yeah, I decided to go with that picture on the left where it was a picture of the full dress. The other one was had kind of the bottom part cut off, and I went with this one instead. The Popeyes bag thingy that I wanted to put down on the page there, so I tore it down to kind of make it fit. And then I just was trying to figure out where I wanted to put everything as far as like the layout or whatever with the pictures. I decided I wanted to make the picture, because I didn't have a lot of room to journal, so I wanted to make the picture a tip-in. And then I will go back in and journal underneath of it later. So that will, yeah, that'll be probably when I'm on my couch watching a YouTube video. I'll just bring this with me and then catch up on the journaling. So it just gets so long. The journaling, yeah, I just don't want the videos to be too long. And if I include the writing in it, it's going to extend it out. And so I can just do that on the side. And then as I flip through the journals every few months, then you guys can kind of see that. So anywho, that's my plan. So I went ahead and made the picture a tip-in, added that sparkly washi at the top. That's from Simply Gilded. And then I had some of this. So I talked in one of my last video, I think it was the A6 creative journaling video, I believe, where I talked about the washi de-stash that I bought. And it had all these just random washi. And one of them, it doesn't really come off in the video, but it's a shiny, those little blocks are shiny, like really light turquoise kind of color. Really pretty. So I put that at the bottom. Then I was just going to go ahead and glue this down. And I went back and forth between this glue runner and the glue stick during this entire journaling session. I struggle, that glue stick, it gets on those pictures. So what I do is I will create a collage of 4 pictures on a 4x6 using the Live Collage app. And then I will upload those to Walmart and do the 1-hour photo and then go pick them up. And I chose the matte version, and like if you get anything on those pictures, like the washi, if you try to peel off washi from these pictures, there's a like adhesive mark on it, and it's weird. And the same thing with the glue. Like if you accidentally get some on your finger and you touch the picture, then your fingerprint is like permanently on the picture. It's just annoying. I don't know what else. I tried to print them off just on regular paper on my printer. The pictures didn't turn out very well. So I don't know what else to do because the sprocket paper is so expensive, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll try the glossy and see if that does any better. Anyway, and then I have some collage items here from the Patreons that I follow or am subscribed to. How do you say that? The YouTubers that I'm subscribed to their Patreon. Anyway, however you word that. Words are hard for me today, apparently. Loveland's Life and Pocket Journal Pam, and I'll put their info below for you if you want to check them out. And I had this little, that little strip at the top that says Best Moments, and then also the little date thing there that says Sunday or day of the week. And I got those put down. And this was Sunday, because I didn't end up writing the date down. Anyway, it was the 9th of January, I believe, that we went up and did the prom dress thing. And listen, when when I was in school, which I graduated in 1992, so I realized it was a long time ago, but like my junior and my senior prom dress were like $150. I don't even remember. And seriously, prom dresses are crazy, crazy expensive. Oh my goodness. And the thing is too, like, if you have to order, if they don't have your size, they have to order it, you have to pay $25 extra. That's just frustrating. And I tried not to show it to my daughter because I didn't want her to feel bad. But man, the dresses are already expensive enough, and it's my fault that you don't have her size in stock. Like, anyway, I digress. So they had originally told us that the dress would be in the first week of March. And that panicked me a little bit because I knew we were going to have to get it in to get it altered lengthwise. It has a corset back, and so the top doesn't necessarily need to be altered, but the straps will, and the bottom. It'll have to be shortened a little bit. Anyway, and it ended up coming in like a month later, so that was exciting. All right, I'm moving on to the next spread. So this is my grandma, and we called her Nana. She passed away in December, and so we had her, she wanted to be cremated, and then her ashes and my grandpa's ashes were going to go to the place where they used to live. There was a bunch of lakes and stuff, and they wanted to be their ashes spread together. So we're going to do that this summer. Anyway, so we had her official funeral. It was in Florida, so I couldn't go. But it was that, on that day. And I had a bunch of pictures that I printed out. So I did, again, the 4 pictures on one 4x6 picture, and then printed those out at Walmart. So I got all of those cut down and somewhat organized as far as how I wanted to use them on the page. The one in the top left, so her birthday was July 3rd, and so she loved the 4th of July. Like anything 4th of July related, it just brought out the inner child in her, and she was one of those people that, I'm going to get teary-eyed talking about it. Anyway, she was just a really great person, and boy, she lived to be like 96 years old. And she was one of those grandmas that met you where you were at as a kid, and oh my word, she was so fun. We loved her. And there's like, I don't know, like 35 grandchildren, and so she always, oh yeah, she would make time for all of us. Like we'd go down there in the summertime, and like the families would take turns going to visit her, and it's like she just had this energy. Oh my goodness. I hope I'm like that when I'm a grandparent, because her energy level was just next level, because she always would take us swimming and Goodwill the things, and then the parents could just chill and, take some time off and enjoy the vacation. And anyway, apologize for that little emotional thing there. Anyway, so I started by putting some color down, and I was just kind of inspired by the colors in all the pictures. There was a blue theme, and then I also added some yellow, and then I just started pulling in, different colors, pink, orange. And yeah, I think this is probably my favorite spread that I did this session. So the pictures of my grandma, the ones of her on that little bench there, they're going to go on the left side. And those, so we had gone down to visit her in 2010, and they used to live in Branson. And we spent time with her, and so I was able to introduce my kids to her, because she, living so far away, because we live in Iowa, and so my kids had never like officially met her. She met Amelia when she was a baby, like a toddler, but she had never seen Eli before, and so we went down there and spent like 3 or 4 days with her. And so I was able to get some pictures. But the funny thing was, when I went to print the pictures, so they were on Facebook, and I saved them to my phone. then when I went to print them out, I got a notification on the Walmart thing that said that they were low quality. And I was like, 2010, what kind of phone did I have? I didn't have an iPhone. I think I had like a Samsung, I don't even know, like a BlackBerry. It looked like a BlackBerry, but it wasn't a BlackBerry. Anyway, so the pictures were not great quality, but I was like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and print them and see how they turn out. It's 9 cents a sheet, so, and they ended up turning out fine. You cannot really tell that the quality's bad, and you can totally understand what's happening in the pictures and see what's going on. But I think if I did them like in a 4x6, they would have been blurry. So anyway, so I wanted to cut out the picture of her in her hat and put that down there on the right hand side. And then at her funeral, this poem, it's called The Bridge Builder. My one of my aunts was the one taking care of her for the last handful of years, and she said that last year, and my grandma she had a couple strokes, and so she wasn't able to speak very much, but she was very aware of what was going on around her. And so my aunt found this poem written out, like handwritten on a piece of paper on my grandma's like bedside table. And it said, I want this read at my funeral, please. So she must have written this poem like by memory. It was crazy. And yeah, you have to check it out. It's too long for me to read on here, but it's so fitting of her. She said that it was read at her dad's funeral, and so she wanted it read at hers too. So they did that. And then I found this image on Google, and then I just went ahead and saved it to my camera roll and then printed it out. The same way I do my pictures, just from Walmart. And so I tipped that in. And then here I had this little journaling card that I wanted to add some color to. I wanted to add some more of the pictures on top of that, and then have more journaling space on the card itself and then underneath of it, just so I can kind of sit down and write some stuff about her. And so I did yellow on one side and blue on the other. And then this one, I was kind of worried it wasn't going to dry. Different kind of paper. It was more like a cardstocky paper. It had a little bit of texture to it. So the watercolor just like soaked right into it. I was like, oh my goodness. And then it took a minute to dry it. So, and then now I'm just trying to figure out how I didn't plan this out very well at first, but trying to figure out how I wanted to put that in there. I was originally going to do it vertically. And I was like, nope, that's not going to work. So I pulled this up, and I had used the glue stick on these pictures. So luckily, because then I was able to get them pulled up. So I pulled up the one, went ahead and used just some Scotch tape to tape down the journaling card. I ended up using some washi over the tape here in a minute. Anyway, and so then I had to cut down the picture of my daughter and my grandma, and to kind of make that fit at the top. So I did the Scotch tape on the other side, and then got that done, and then added the pink Starburst washi, I think it's called, to the top of that journaling card there. And I struggled to get that washi started. I've had these washi cards for a long time, and so they're kind of getting older. Another reason that I want to get them used up. But yeah, got that put down, and then moved on to the pictures. And I didn't really want to cut that one down of my daughter sitting on, my grandma had this, her house was like an A-frame, and so the top floor had a balcony, and then the master bedroom. And so we would always go up there and sit like that. And so my daughter did it. I was like, oh, that's perfect. Had to take a picture. So I didn't want to cut off the bottom, and then you wouldn't realize that it was the balcony area. Anyway, so I didn't want to cut it down. And I ended up not having room for that 4th of July picture in the spread. And I may save that for her celebration of life. That's going to be this summer, like I was talking about. I'll probably save it for that spread. And I have lots of journaling, lots of stuff I want to write about. And so I made sure to leave plenty of space at the bottom there with those 2 tip-ins, just so that I could have plenty of space to write. And then I figured I can always add, pictures or whatever after the fact. So, and I continued to add, so like you saw me in the beginning, when I'm doing a spread, I will make a pile for each. I have little baskets, and I will make a pile for each one, so it'll have the pictures and then any specific washi that I'm going to use, or like die cuts or images or whatever. And then I just kind of have it in front of me as I do the spread, and if I want to use it, then I'll use it. If not, I'll skip it. So I just kind of kept adding things to it. Anywho, so I put the 3 pictures there at the bottom on that journaling card and just kind of had to cut them down a little bit to fit. And like I said, this was a fun spread to do. So I just worked on getting those pictures stuck down, and I needed to move up the little one here of my grandma and my daughter. And then I had some different ephemera and things that I wanted to add as well, and some different washi. This is kind of out of that pile that I was making earlier. But I had this really skinny washi that's it's green, orange, and silver. So I added that to the sides of the pages just to kind of give it a little bit of interest on the edges of the pages, and got that put down. The sentiment at the bottom of that picture underneath of her says strong heart. That's actually from Calico Collage on Etsy, and I'll tag her below. She has tons of journaling supplies and it's like printables. So and then this little sheet here, I cut out a phrase that says love you, and that's from Loveland's Life. And then I'm just looking over this sheet to kind of see what I wanted, if there was anything I wanted to use from it. But I decided that there wasn't. So I just went with this one and put it at the top. And then I realized when I went back that I never glued it down. So I was lucky that I didn't lose it. This cat piece of ephemera here is from Pocket Journal Pam. And I chose this one because it was perfect. So my grandmother loved cats and Christmas. And so this was perfect because it's a cat and he's wrapped in Christmas lights. So I thought that was adorable. So I had to put that down. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this journaling session. I really appreciate you being here and watching. Stay tuned for part 2 of this journaling session. Have a great week, guys. Bye.